Hello, this is Miranda from My Scrappy Life, and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a two-parter. It is the Tasty Tuesday YouTube hop, where we do our tasty treats and favorite family favorites, and then I am doing the Follow the Sketch February, and this is the sketch over at Sandy's group. I will link all of that down, and the person that we're following the sketch from is Kimberly Figures. And I am a day early. The sketch that I'm trying to do was not going to work for the 24th. So I picked the 25th because really in retrospect, I forgot to print all these out in January to do all of February's sketches along with everything that I've got going on. And so I'm going to kind of be a little behind, and I'm going to start doing all of them here in the month of March, since this is at the end. So all of the sketches that they were following along in February, I am going to be doing here and starting now through the month of March. Now, what I am doing here, as you can tell, there's some big focal points. And so I was lazy and went onto my Cricut and I printed out and cut out these pieces. And then I did cut out that frame as well, because there's that frame in there too. So what I did was that I went and stressed everything so that it looks like I tore it, and then put that. Now, the only thing I didn't do, and I could have, but I didn't, was I could have printed out some of my cut files, my leafy cut files, to add to this, but because it's more of a foodie style layout, I didn't want to necessarily go that route. So the theme that everyone else is probably doing, which I couldn't do, which is street foods, I went through all of what I printed out. And for like my photos and stuff that I have printed to be able to scrap lift or to scrap for this prompt for this month, I didn't have one, unfortunately, which is kind of odd for me because I eat street food all the time and I love street food. That's like the best mom and pop shops you could ever find is street food. And I just don't have any. I don't know if I just don't have none. So what I did was that I remember back in the day when I used to travel in Germany, you would find some certain pockets in stuff that they would have on the streets for you to be able to get from what my husband and I call the gut trucks. They're always mom and pop shops. They're amazing, and they're all of that. So I made homemade mom and pop shop stuff and a pocket, and that is what I'm using because it reminds me of the street foods that we would get in Germany with pitas and all of that. So this was my first time making Hot Pockets, and they were actually lovely. So in the meantime of me talking about my photos, I did take the lace that was part of this kit. Now, this kit is the Mercy Tiaras kit. It had to have been done around October, November of 2024 because it had ciders and donuts in it. And I know that collection came out, and I didn't get it because I knew I had this collection coming from Mercy Tiaras. So I did add some stuff to it. I did get some Acorn Lane out of my stash to help with the embellishments because all I got in this kit was the journaling bits that you see me working with. The lace did come in there, and I intertwined it with the picture or the photo frame that you see me using, and made it that way. So then I kind of played around with it, and I figured out that I'm going to make it this way. And I talked about how I made my Hot Pockets the first time. I don't journal much on my layouts, but with this particular one I did because I've never made Hot Pockets by themselves, like from scratch, and that's what I literally did. And I learned a lot while I was in Germany of how to cook my favorites that I remember my Oompa and Nana cooking and baking and doing all of those. And when we went to Germany for the 3.5 years that we were over there, I learned a lot. I can make stromboli like it's no tomorrow. All of those things because I've taken cooking classes and whatnot while I was over there to learn the favorites of what my husband and I grew up with and learned how to make them myself. So I can make spätzle and schnitzel like no tomorrow. I just love doing it. It's part of our culture, and growing up, and it's just amazing. So anyway, that's kind of what these photos are about. So what I'm going to do is now go ahead and I am going to take these 3 tags, and I do use my own twine. Towards the end, you'll see what I do with them. I add the twine to make it more rustic, more me, more everything. This whole layout, this whole way of doing all of this, it screams me. And I didn't really get to do any fall type photos this year. Or this past year in 2025, because I started really picking back up in November. And so I'm working through my 2023 everyday moment photos, and that is where I'm at. So you're going to see a ton of not spring-like, but fall-like items, because that's where I'm at in my photos, because I didn't get a chance to really go and get going on my layouts and stuff, because I didn't feel where I was at in my space until about November, and just going through that. So you're going to see a lot of fall-like stuff. So if you're in the autumn season, and I know where you're coming into in the autumn season, welcome to us, because that's what I'm rolling with. So hopefully my Australian friends and down south and down under will like the autumn style versus the spring and summer that they get to go through, because I know how their winters are versus us. They're opposite. So hopefully we get some, I hope you guys like the fall stuff that's going to be coming in the month of March. Make sure that you check out the playlist. This is a brand new hop. This is the 2nd month. I know that I will be doing it every month, because I have always taken photos of my food. My husband, and it drives my husband nuts, but I do, because I really enjoy the process, especially when I cook like this. Now, I didn't take the process from start to finish. I did do one set here in 2026 where I made my homemade strombolis, and I did do it from start to finish. I did post it on social media from my start to finish. I didn't do all of the photos, but it was like a 4x4. I did 4 layouts or 4 photos in it. So down here on the bottom, there isn't really much of a title to this. I could have done ham and cheese. I could have done pockets, but I found the word cozy, and I think of comfort food is coziness. And so that's going to be my title down in the bottom. You'll see how I make that work. So these are the Acorn Lane ephemeras that I'm bringing in, because like I said, I didn't get much other than the journal bits. So I had to come in with something. And the one beauty thing about Simple Stories is when they make collections, their collections tend to match a couple years in a row. They change up the ephemera, they make it look different so that it's not exactly the same, but the color tones are. And that is why Simple Stories has always been my fave. Outside of designers, obviously, but if I talk about a collection or a manufacturer, Simple Stories is mine for sure, hands down, 1000%. And so I'm just working through how I'm going to make this look down here, and you will see how I come in with the title and all of that fun stuff. I will also link down Sandy's group, because that's where you can find all of the Follow Me sketches. She does them always in February. It is something that she does all the time every year. And so that is where I got all the sketches and everything like that. I just was, I don't want to say behind. I just was a little bit ahead of schedule. And then when everybody started talking about it, I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll be doing it in the month of March. And I do know in the month of March, Chrissy from Chrissy Beautiful Life also does the 30 days of sketches. So you will get definitely a lot from these next 2 months, like all of February and then coming up. And then here I am taking the sequence mix that is from Mercy Tiara's. She did do a wonderful job of her kits and doing them, and I miss them deeply. So if Mercy Tiara watches my channel, I would love to have you back doing your thing. I would love to have your kits back. Good golly, Miss Molly, I miss them. I'm kind of hoarding them on purpose. Hence the reason why this has never been touched. So I'm just going through. Make sure that you do all the YouTube-y stuff. I would love to have you as part of my YouTube family. I do upload between 2 to 3 times a week. I am only on one design team, so that is only 2 layouts. Everything else is just free with a bunch of hops. Make sure that you go check out everybody that does do the Tasty Tuesdays, and go ahead and get yourself part of Sandy's group, which will be linked down below. Everything will be linked down below. I am definitely going to just finish up doing the sequence. I love leaving this in because I think it's cool to see my process. If y'all want to skip to the end to see the still shots, go for it. But I do every once in a while love to leave this in. And then lastly, I do come in with the Distress Spritz. It's antique linen. I absolutely love how this one looks. Here are the still shots. I hope that you guys are all staying safe. Until next time, I will talk to you soon. Bye.
One plus one is always meant to, but I feel this could be different if I was with you. If I was with you. 1 plus 1 is always meant to, but I feel this could be different if I was with you. If I was with you. 'Cause you come around and I don't know why, but the sun seems brighter in the sky, and all the colors dance faster in the